It's the same for all the players.
So we're set to go with Laddams up against Stephen Martin, the veteran, and Port Adelaide against Brisbane. McCluggage onto the loose ball straight away. You can see the breeze already playing a part in this game, but big opportunity for McStay. Gets tumbled over. And another man we're going to be looking at just came into the screen there, Cam Rayner. He certainly didn't develop the way we expected him to last year, but from all reports, he's super fit, and he'll be one who will have an eye on. That tackle, that handball was a little dubious. Short to Neil. What a start to his time in Brisbane. See if he can hit the target going into the 50. Presentation from Hipwood. Charlie Cameron, he was Mr. Excitement last year in their forward 50, and the ball's fisted safely through.
White dot, please.
Shot. Burton reacted to the call from the umpire and did it pretty well. And now Port can get on their bike and start to run. Stevie Motlop loves to do that. Cruises through the wing. Pumps it as long as he can up forward. Nicely taken, and we get out. They'll look there at young Georgiades. Gardner at prime position. And uses Bailey, and Brisbane can work it out.
Oh.
He looks like
A couple of involvements there. This is a promising build-up for Port. Adams with a little dish. Amon running hard through the middle. Motlop. And he straightened up beautifully because Dixon came into his sight.
Two contrasting styles. You've got Brisbane who want to go wide around the boundary line, and Port, as soon as they win possession, they want to come through the heart of the ground. And the forwards are lighting up. You can see the space available for them.
You see a lot of that during the last year, though, for Port Adelaide, do we? Low in the eyes, they deliver inside 50. That most likely would have been maybe a bomb into a sort of a forward pocket type situation. It was good vision.
Just played the 9 games last year after coming back from that serious leg injury. Ken Hinkley referred to pre-match. We know he can kick a long ball.
Wow.
And with the breeze behind him, he threats the first goal.
Beautiful action, Big Charlie.
Well, you're spot on, Brownie. Last year, Port Adelaide averaged the league high inside 50s, 58 a week.
Yeah.
But we're 17th in the competition, have been able to convert those entries into a score. And that's the problem. It sounds like an easy fix. There's probably a lot of components to that. Is it delivery? Is it where you're locating the balls you come in? Is it...
Bangs it up onto the wing. Harris Andrews get the fist. They're having a good tumble turn on the wing. As Rich drives inside, there was a couple of targets for him there, and Stephen Martin gets into the right place. Oh, he lays off the handball, try and get the confidence going from Eric Hipwood. He was perfectly placed on the left boot, and he uses it well.
Just a really big body. He moves really nicely as well, has great skills, so he'll be a good addition for us.
I think you've got to go back on, so you better go.
Thanks, guys.
High ball towards full forward, falls a bit short, but the mark is taken by Hipwood.
That's what you want to see, Brownie. Contested mark from this man. He only averages 1 a week. If you can get that, I know it's a significant jump to get to 40 for the season, but this is the wild card that takes you from being right up there in the top 4 to the absolute premiers, I think. Just one tall forward needs to stand up for Brisbane this season.
Well, they didn't get, out of McInerney, Stay and Hipwood, didn't get enough goals out of those guys in the finals. They need to be almost averaging 2 each.
From all reports, he's got the aggression and the determination to be that man and succeed for Brisbane. He slots that one through. He's kicked both their goals into the wind. It's a good start for the Lions.
Yeah,
Chris Fagan, what an influence he's had on this club so far. Continues to. Jed Adcock has the reins today, though. High ball from Boat. Opportunity for a late goal in the quarter. And a big opportunity. Dersmer out to Ebert. Had to walk through a fair bit. Dersmer off the left. A bit early to bring out the bow and arrow, I think, in the season.
Yeah, he stuck down because he's been playing off half back. Really looking forward to this year. Dersmer, Butters, Rosie, Willem Drew is an emergency. So those 4 guys, can they keep progressing? You know, that was the big positive out of last year for Port Adelaide, was the development of these first yearers. You know, I don't think we've had a season where we've seen a bunch of first yearers in one team have the impact that they did.
They had 6.
Houston flicked the hand out to Dersmer. Fell short.
Oh.
Great handling the ball by Rosie. Has he got to come round enough?
Good to watch, isn't he? How exciting was he last year in his first season?
I think we're seeing a little bit of Ken Hinkley wind the clock back a fraction. Really had that fast brand of football, that momentum brand that they talked about. This is very aggressive. There's a lot to like.
Thanks, Valley. That's the line.
Is your boy in the ruck?
Let's go. Out with me. 10 metres. 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, I just think it asks questions, King. Look how big he is. Big man. You know, ruckman can get nervous. They can grab a hold of him. He can gain a free kick or grab it out of the ruck in that forward 50. I like it.
Looked pretty good off the boot. And so Port Adelaide have begun this second term with a nice goal and remain in front.
A couple of games over the last few days. John O'Patton kicked a couple for Hawthorn his first game. Got a beautiful kicking style. Charlie Dixon, a very similar kicking style. Just see here. So Connor Ballender, younger ruckman there, panics a little bit, gives away the free kick. And Charlie Dixon, beautiful kicking style as well.
Bonner, centre half forward, spotted Boak. He can turn, he can shoot. It's got to hold up in the wind. Dixon had prime position. Andrews got the arms working. Stephen Martin again. Whoa, watch out, Adams. Well done, Power Pepper. And there's the pressure that he can apply. He gets all the plaudits. Butters kicks the goal. And Port suddenly lead by 14 points.
Well, if you're going to play deep forward, that's going to have to be part of your weaponry. Fantastic to see him burst through. I mean, there's some players want to tackle and there's some that really want to tackle. Watch him force his way past the Brisbane Lions player here to get in the way, past the big ruckman. Bang, I'm going to have an impact here. And Butters is coming with him. I think it's fantastic to see another opportunity for Power Pepper, forward of centre. And already Ken Hinkley will be saying we've got to invest in that in the season proper. Great signs. Or is what's the methodology?
Isn't it? Because he can fly the ball.
Yeah.
You've probably seen it as a tall forward sometimes.
That was a flash onto the left boot. Hugh McCluggage.
How skillful is he?
What a talent.
Yeah.
Wobbly disposals though for Port. Puts Cleary under the pump. Jared Lyons, instant handball. Bailey for the pocket. He'll try and get it to Cameron. Cameron spots Berry. And young Georgiades couldn't quite deny him. Did force him a little wider.
It's a strong mark, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the threat that this man can bring. We haven't seen enough of him go forward yet. Brown him potentially play over goal square at times, but he's a great aerial presence.
Yeah, he'll be one of the guys that floats forward. Out of that midfield group, can play forward.
More of the ball than ever in his third season at senior level. Up to almost 20 disposals last year.
A ripping young leader as well.
Oh, here goes.
Got it. Watch him behind.
So let's see what he can produce on half-time here. Judge the breeze. No. Misses to the right, so just the one goal with the wind in that quarter, Brisbane. And we go to half-time with a one-goal lead before we head down to Alistair. Some quick thoughts, boys.
Port Adelaide really impressive in that second quarter. Against pretty strong breeze. They used that short possession to good effect. Probably pulled Brisbane out of whack a little bit. I thought they were better around the clearances. And their pressure was better. Brisbane was frantic with their pressure in the first quarter, but the Port Adelaide got the better in that second quarter.
They're going to play aggressive football, Hutto, and that's what the competition needs.
Oh.
That's why Marcus Adams had to come off with a blood rule.
Yeah. No, I like it. I think that Ken Hinkley's going to trust his back six. And we say they're a no-name back six, but they get the job done. And that allows for some adventure with the ball. It's exciting to watch. Quite complete the mark, but I like their representation with that high ball coming in. It's either Dixon or Georgiades. Now Marshall, we've talked about a little bit through the course of the game. It's making it very difficult for the Lions to, one, intercept and two, spoil.
Not an ideal time to drop it for Alice Yeoman. Recovery was excellent though, Witherden back to the wing. Burton had the march on Cameron, but the fumble costly. Zorko just kicked it to open spaces and run, baby, run. Charlie Cameron flicked it back. Taken by Jonas. Locked away in the pocket. McCarthy. Hipwood still looking for the man to finish it, and it's the left boot of Dane Zorko.
How good was McCarthy there? He was able to keep that play in play, keep it alive.
that McCluggage was going to drop to his knees. We often see players going high, give away a clumsy free kick. Good common sense play.
Oh, opens up for Neil. He could have shared it or made sure of it himself. He goes solo. And Brisbane take the lead back.
It's the strength of Brisbane.
Yeah, I know. It's still a reasonably strong breeze. I'd say at least a 1 or 2 goal advantage, but that hasn't really panned out throughout the game so far.
No, it hasn't. Doak along the line, or Westhoff was there to be taken down by Archie, and that's exactly what happened. Rosie so quick to pounce and sum up the situation. Georgiades couldn't keep his feet, but Rosie found a way, made the ball talk, and threw for a goal and pulled her back in front.
It was such a bad kick, it ended up perfect, Brownie. It had that funny wobble going in its bounce there and was always going to correct through the goals, but this was a great tackle here. Unlucky not to be rewarded, but that half a trip there from Rosie, but he gets away with it.
Did you think this was a bit much afterwards?
Yeah, it might have been just a bit much. You know the AFL doesn't like this. Match review officer. Switching both arms are pinned, just take him to the ground. So
Nick Nui got done for that.
Yeah, it's just you've got a duty of care as a tackling player. The AFL stated that over the last couple of seasons, so that'll be looked at.
I'll repeat it again. I think we have to get serious about the head. The concussion at the moment's a major problem in our game. We've got Paddy McCartan, Ben Jacobs. We've had a whole host of players just retire through concussion issues, related issues. We've got to take a stand.
Motlop. Ebert. Had a couple of cracks at it. Ebert again. Dersma. Butters. Back outside. Again, measured the pass off, so clever. Got it back. The young guns are all involved in that on multiple occasions.
Well, that's been their biggest issue over the last 18 months. Connection going inside the forward 50. Now, we pose the question, is it the targets or the supply, Brownie, or the location of where the ball's coming in? Is it too wide? You know, 58 inside 50s a game last year, #1 in the competition on average, for 17th in the competition return, converting an entry into a score. That sort of kick there is exactly what they need with regularity in 2020.
Dixon, that looks pretty decent off the boot, holds its line. Port have answered the 2 goals that Brisbane started the quarter with. Let's get back to Lynchy.
Yeah, down here with Charlie Dixon. Charlie, looks like there's been some real composure with the ball since quarter time.
Yeah, no, I think we sort of probably expected the win to do most of the work in that first quarter, and then we knew we had to fight tough in the second just to try and control the footy a bit more and not let them get those ones out the back. And then we got to take our opportunities when we get the ball inside 50 now, and yeah, just play footy.
How are you travelling? Look like you've done a pretty good pre-season and fitting well.
Yeah, going all right. It took me about 10 years to get a good one under my belt, so no, it's going all right. I mean, these games are good to sort of get a blow and see where you're actually at. So I'm feeling not too bad, but yeah, getting there.
Hartlett searching with the eyes, decides handball is the way to go. Rockcliffe for the setup kick. Motlop at the front.
Got some great front and square players. They know when to get to the absolute drop zone. I mean, we talked about Connor Rosie, we talked about Motlop. He's had a great day today in transition. Butters has been there. I just think there's a lot to like about their forward 50 today. And that's been the big question mark or the big area for correction. 2019 to 2020, the off-season. They were spent a lot of time. I know Nathan Bassett was talking about it through the week. You know, they've made slight tweaks, not radical change. We've seen it today.
Motlop. That looks decent off the boot. It's through. And Steve Motlop has had a good day. He's got the big smile. 17 disposals and a goal.
Where do you have it, Brownie?
It was interesting because you're right about Bassett. I saw that as well. Saw his comments, and it's good to see they've just made the slight tweaks, and they look like that today, King. Yeah, we spoke about earlier in the telecast. The big indicator for Kenny Hinkley last year was inside 50s. They just wanted high inside 50s. So you could imagine, without being inside the 4 walls, they've gone, righto, boys, now we need to polish this up. Yep. We need to polish our delivery. We've got a lot of things going well in their game. The way we move the ball, polished up. Let's get the money kick right now.
48 games for the Hawks. The milestone early in the season. The kick goes back to the wing. Pope ran into trouble, but he kept at it. Rosie again. Hooks the ball back. Nice take from Cox. Motlop, he's capable from there. He can do the mercurial. Highly skilled player, Steve Motlop. And at his best, can still be a damaging player.
I hope we see that kick going inside 50, Brownie, on the replay here, because the location of this kick was everything. It created the goal. I mean, you blast that to the forward pocket, you don't get the quality of the next entry. Just have a look at this. Oh, that's the great finish from Motlop there. But the location of that first kick, it only gave the Port Adelaide leading forwards, I think it was Cox at that stage, the opportunity to crumb the ball. Look at this kick, Brownie. Inside forward 50, only one man can win that ball. That's the difference.
Thanks, Cam.
Quality entries create scores.
Since this stage, only a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Ball was still sitting there, and that's a throw.
There's what you're talking about again, Brownie. Dixon in the ruck. Does create a bit of chaos, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. Well,
His second efforts today have been fantastic.
Yeah, yes. It's a good sign of his fitness, isn't it, King? And you just don't see many guys that big, do you? With his agility. You know, he's good power. He's got the ability to grab it out of the ruck and snap it over his shoulder. Especially against the tiring ruckman. That's what I like about, Stephen Martin. If he's been in the ruck for 10 minutes, all of a sudden he comes up against a fresh Charlie Dixon who's been standing the goal square. That's dangerous.
This for his third. Starts his run just on the 50. You can see he's kicking from a comfortable distance. Knows what the breeze is going to do. Kicks truly. And Port Adelaide, finally, after a bit of a slow start to this third term, have shown how to utilise the win. They've kicked 5-5 for the quarter.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a Port Adelaide supporter. Let's just watch this collision between Witherden and Connor Rosie. Just a clash of heads, nothing untoward in it. A little bit sore, the boys there. Let's watch this. This is what we're talking about. So, Stephen Martin maybe fatiguing a little bit. Gets pushed out of the way, reaches over the top, free kick against. Not a hell of a lot in it, but...
Followed it up and then received the handball back. So he wins the day, Amon. And then, well, it wasn't a very stylish one. He's going to keep on running, looking for it back from Motlop. That's going to be a tough kick into the wind. But if anyone can do it, it's Stevie Motlop.
He is absolutely turning one on.
Just tell him it's only the first game of the pre-season.
No, don't waste him up. This is exciting. You're sitting over, you're a Port Adelaide supporter on your couch. I'm getting very excited. If Stevie Motlop can produce this week in, week out, Port Adelaide are automatically probably a 2 or 3 win team better off. Look at that for a finish into the wind. Sometimes it can be really hard to move the ball. It's better.
50. Yeah. The old matey earn it tag. Gives up the 50 there.
Well, he could have got a free earlier, couldn't he, against Damon, but didn't.
Been quiet since quarter time, Brownie, McCluggage.
Yeah, really, since the first 10 minutes of the game. Burst into the game.
Pops it through. Cuts the margin back to just under 4 goals.
But you are looking for little things, aren't you? Points of difference from last year. And this guy's one of those points of difference.
There's been, yeah, all right, I think with Port there's been more than a few little things that can all add up.
Dixon. Block to Charlie Dixon.
Charlie again.
Against you, Grant.
I think you list the positives today. This guy clearly number one. Motlop, you've got the role of Power Pepper now forward and still doing what he does in the midfield. Okay, he's not all quality. It's still a work in progress, but their aggression through the corridor is similar to last season.
Yeah, the game style has been impressive, hasn't it?
Yeah.
15 gone.
We like Georgiades early, very early.
So here's Charlie. Let's see. Great spot to kick a goal. He knew the wind could just help him a little bit in terms of line. So he sorted that out beautifully. Another goal to Port Adelaide, and it's out to 30 points. That's as good as they've been ahead in this match so far.
He's one of the forwards in the comp, one of the few forwards, King, that's capable of kicking. Certainly 50 plus.
Yeah.
He plays 20 plus games this year. absolutely 50 goals is there for him.
Well, in 2017, he kicked 49. That was his best return. He took 59 contested marks. That's
a big number.
Second best in the competition behind.
Being able to counter what the opposition do to you, because the opposition now are going to ask more questions of the Brisbane Lions with the way they play. So can you work your way around that? Yes, they've got a lot of talent there, a lot of quality player.
50 metres as well.
I think that they'd be pretty happy with what they've seen with Hipwood today, and the role that he plays forward of centre. Birchall gets through, you know, fingers crossed he gets through this last patch, he gets through the game. Archie starting to find a little bit of footy in this last quarter, late third quarter as well. They're not looking to see a lot. I mean, the margin for improvement of these guys is very minimal.
Right, let's get down to Lynch as Xavier Dersma lines up for goal.
Thanks, Hutto. Yeah, just looking at Connor Rosie's return from the change rooms. Looks like he's passed that concussion test, warming up and ready to come back on.
Okay, 12 minutes remaining. And that's good news. Dersma. No problem for him either. He's certainly worked out how to kick goals there.
Got some good news out of half-back on the wings, Port Adelaide. Just look at their ball. We're talking about the money kick, going inside 50 there. Yeah, they need to develop that precision kicking gear. But coming off half-back, you'd have confidence. Burn Jones, Dersma can play at half-back at times. We've seen aim on there. Dan Houston's been poached up into the midfield. Hamish Hartlett. They've got some runners, got some line breakers.
Yeah.
So, you know, as a forward, I'm getting excited from the Port Adelaide forward, because you know the ball's going to come down with good pace and really should come down with good delivery as well.
That was just a little pre-season bow and arrow we saw there. You know, it's a like it, just a little one.
Yeah. Are you a fan? You don't sound like you're a fan.
No, I'm a fan. I'm absolutely a fan. Not sure about in the Marsh Cup, but it's all in fun, so.
Good for the kids.
Who cares, yeah. They can launch off half-back. In and out for Dersma again. Oops. Did well, knew he was tumbling the ground, so he moved it on to Cal Pepper. Trying to lead it to Bonner, trying to measure off the pass, and he got the measurements right. They advance again. Dersma, Rockcliffe, slipped through the tackle. Burn Jones tried to hit up, Rich was ready. Gardner versus Marshall. Stylish as ever from Zorko. Twist and turn, he had plenty on the inside. Cameron, not necessarily the best of handballs, made Bailey work hard. Charlie's
Pressure by Port Adelaide.
to come a long way up the ground, hasn't he, to get some of the footy here?
Well, he's had just the 5 kicks today, Charlie Cameron.
Yeah, the game hasn't suited him. There's been a lot of flow in Brisbane's ball movement. He does rely on that a bit. I would have liked to see him in the midfield a bit more, King.
Yeah.
Just pushing there to get him into the game.
Hartlett on the end of the hands.
Bang.
And he's given it plenty as well. How about what's happened to Lynch here with his 3-goal win?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about these dangerous half-backers for Port Adelaide. Throw Ryan Burton in there as well. So they've got some really good kicking talent in their back half, King.
Top 8 team finalists. Then they've got to get off to a flyer. They can't have the threat of turmoil around their club again this year. Gold Coast, Adelaide, North Melbourne. There's their chance.
There's a nice goal we haven't seen too much of since quarter time from Brisbane. Rayner flashing through and puts it through for Brisbane's 8th goal.
Yeah, big game, MCG. They've got blockbuster games this year. Brisbane, the 2 Thursday nighters, 2 Friday nighters.
Oh.
Saw a few of the grand finals, though, Brownie.
It's a long time ago, though, Adelaide.
That's another long bomb and another terrific land. And Connor Rosie, he's got it all. Port Adelaide are stocked with talent. And they lead once again by 38 points.
I think we played 14 Friday night games in 1 year. Yeah. Really frees up your weekend, Brownie, I can tell you. But that's a great finish, isn't it? I mean, that is a great finish. So, I mean, we talk a lot about Port's kicking, their deft kicking inside that forward half today, but they've got some guys who can drive it from 55 metres.
Rich.
Hi, Brisbane.
Brownie's right, though. At the end of the day, they've been too tough today. When you look at their strength last year, contested footy, +6 a week in the top 2 or 3 in the AFL. Today, they've been beaten by 22 contested possessions. Port, not necessarily their one wood, what they've got them done today.
Rich, that is a massive goal.
All clean, Mike.
Just caressed it from about 70.
And that's the other thing from a game style point of view, King. You mentioned that, are they too predictable? And
Robinson. Big Oscar gives them a contest and is adept at ground level. No wonder they love it when he gets the footy. A big O. Man copped it there.
It's a really dangerous action. That's what we've got to get out of the game. I know I'm harping on this, but
that's a good point.
That certainly is, no doubt about that one.
Player.
Because the player continues the game, there's no action there. There's nothing to be seen. I think we've got to reverse the mindset on suspensions here.
Last 5 seconds. It's been an impressive display by Port Adelaide, particularly since quarter time. They're going to come away with the win. They've got some of their key players, old and young, in good form after very solid and hard pre-seasons. And there's a lot to like if you're a Port Adelaide fan. A bit there for the Lions as well, but also some things that they'll be looking at closely when they look back on this first match of the season.
You've got to keep things in perspective. It is pre-season, their first game, but positives for Port Adelaide. Charlie Dixon, outstanding. His work rate was magnificent. Zero contest, a strong presence. Kicked well for goals. That man, Stephen Motlop, he was terrific. He ended up with 22 disposals. He probably shut it down that last quarter with 3 goals, though. He was outstanding. And really their hardness around the contest from quarter time onwards was most impressive for me, King.
We want to see fast footy in 2020, and that's going to involve corridor, high speed, skill, flair. And that's everything Ken Hinkley wants Port Adelaide to be. It's an exciting time to be a Port Adelaide fan right now.